everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to do another installment of the Cricut Can Too making a card, and we're going to do a Christmas card in July. I originally thought that I was not going to do a Christmas card. In fact, in one of the videos that I've posted or will be posting, I will mention that I'm not doing any Christmas in July card videos just because I wasn't feeling inspired until the hubby took me shopping for my birthday the other day, and I went to Hobby Lobby and I saw this Candy Christmas paper crafting kit, and I was totally inspired to use it, and I thought, what a great way to add an installment to my Cricut Can Too series. So let's go ahead and open this up. Now, the last video, or the first video of the series of the Cricut Can Too, we used the Cricut 110%, and this one we are only going to be using it just a little bit because a lot of the work is already done for us. So here's another take that you don't have to use your Cricut as advanced as I did as the last video. This one you could just buy the paper packs and let that do the work for you. So we only need to use the Cricut just a little bit. I mean, you actually have, let's take a look here. We have a bunch of really pretty stickers. We have some sentiments like Holly Jolly, Sweet Christmas Wishes, and then of course the Nutcracker, Christmas trees, and all that fun stuff. Now you could totally use this for your sentiment. In fact, maybe I'll make a card off camera and use it as a sentiment. But I want to use my Cricut. Of course, you can always use the oh my goodness. Use these, I'm going to try to, it's really sticky. You can always use these stickers as well. So again, maybe I'll try using it in case you don't have a Cricut at all and you just like to buy these paper packs. You can also use this, so maybe I'll try to incorporate two other cards off camera where I will be using Sweet Christmas Wishes and then of course this, right? And then it has some ephemera here as well, which is what I thought was so super cute. So here's that. You have a gingerbread house, a gingerbread woman, Christmas tree, candy cane, a lollipop, and some gumdrops and what have you. So really cool. And then the cardstock pattern, which I am not too thrilled about how thin it is because it is like maybe 60-pound cardstock, if not thinner. I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping to be a little thicker. So we might have to layer it up with 80-pound cardstock if I'm going to use this as a card base. So we have this really pretty pattern. So you have that one. And then you also have this, which is gold foil, which is really nice to add some accents. So again, you get two of each. This would be really cool to do some type of pattern layering. That would be really awesome. And then you have this one. And then you also have the last two, which are the Nutcrackers. How pretty is that? Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into Design Space. We really don't have too much that we're doing in Design Space today, as we're just adding some text. And I don't think I'm going to use Design Space for anything else. So let's go ahead and hop in and then we will start working on our card. Okay, so I am in Design Space. I already have my preliminary design here just to kind of show you what we're doing. This is a relatively easy Cricut Design Space tutorial. What I always do is get a guide as far as the size that I'm going to cut my card panel. Now again, you can use your Cricut to cut out the card panel, but I already have pre-made sizes. Actually, we're going to have to cut down some of the cardstock that comes with the collection, but we'll do that through a paper trimmer. But if you don't have a paper trimmer, no big deal, use your Cricut. Now we are working with the Cricut Joy Xtra today, so you can only cut up to I think 8 1/4 8.5, I believe. So just kind of bear that in mind when you using your Cricut Joy Xtra. So Cricut Joy Xtra and the Maker and the Explorer all work the same way. I'll try to do a video just using the Joy in the next Cricut Can Too series. Okay, so if you don't know how to make a guide, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here in shapes. You're going to click on the shape that you want to use. So in my case, I'm going to be using a square turned into a rectangle. So then I'm going to unlock this and I'm going to type in the size that I want. So an A2 card size is 4.25 by 5.5, and I always like to have an 1/8 inch margin on all four sides. In most cases, I would say 80% of the time. So we're going to do the 4. I'm going to hit the tab key on my keyboard and then type in 5.25. This will give us the 1/8 inch margin that we need. And then if you were to use this to cut out your panel, then you would not do the next step. But since I won't be using my Cricut to cut down my panel, I'm going to turn this into a guide. Okay, so now that we have our guide in place, it's as easy as trying to find a font and the placement and the size that you want. So the font that I used is Ali. This is a Cricut Design Space font, so I just kind of went through Design Space fonts to see which one I liked, and then just selected, you know, the one that I want. So that's that one. Now this one here and Bright, this is actually, I grouped that together, so let me ungroup it real quick. This is actually a font that I purchased. This is a new favorite font of mine. So this is a font from Font Bundles. So if you go into text, actually I didn't really need to do that, but come over here and I have it in my bookmark. And so here are some of my favorite ones. And the Islander is the one that I really am obsessed with. And I really think this font does scream Christmas, but also it screams Rachel. But anyways, so here's the font. Now I will tell you, when I did the ampersand and then I typed in Bright, I didn't like the spacing between the and the Bright. And so what I did is I created 2 different text boxes and then just moved this over. So you would just come back and erase this one, and then I like to hit duplicate here in the upper right corner and then double clicked in there, highlight the whole thing and make the ampersand. So again, and I just kind of positioned it where I liked. Okay, now with that being said, let me just move this over and we'll zoom in a little bit better closer to that. So what I'm going to do is create an offset. So I'm going to click on that and then come up here. 0.09 is the offset that I personally like for this. Of course, you choose, you know, whatever is going to make sense for you. And then I'm also going to create an offset for that as 0.09 as well. Now, here's the thing. The offset is not attached to one another. You'll see that it's pretty prevalent there that I attached it. So what I did is I just shifted this over by using the arrow on my keyboard, just because I don't want to move the alignment of the ampersand. So once it's overlapping, and I know it's kind of hard to see, you can move it over a little bit or as little as you want. So once I found that this is what I wanted, I'm going to weld the offsets together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and now you don't have to do this part, but just to show you guys, I'm going to hide my ampersand and I'm going to hide the Bright, and then I'm going to highlight both the offsets, come down here where it says combine, and then hit weld. Okay, now the reason why I did weld is so that way I can contour this part out, because you'll see here I don't have that. You can't, under the combined option, you have unite, subtract, and whatever. The unite will not allow you to contour this out. I will tell you, you can just add an image and overlay that. Not an image, I'm sorry, a shape, and overlay that, and then just attach it, or actually no, not attach it, but unite it that way if you don't want to weld it. But it's just an extra step. I think it's unnecessary, but there's a way around it. So you're just going to select your offset and hit contour, and then you're just going to come over here, click there, or you can click here just to get it to go away, and then you can close that out. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that ampersand back on, and also the bright. You will see that it's not visible, and that's just simply because the weld layer is on top of the ampersand and the bright. So you actually can click on the weld and hold down the control button and hit the left bracket, and you can move it all the way down so it sits below everything. You can also just click on it, and then you can hit bring. Well, now I can't bring it forward because it's already on top, but you can click on, you can right click on it and select bring forward. But I'm all about the keyboards, just because of, well, how I am taught in AutoCAD. Anyways, so that is how I made the and bright. Okay, so I can erase that because I don't need that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to delete that. So here is the card that we're going to make using the Cricut. I'll be sure to list the font in the description box below, of course. And I'm going to change from the Xtra 3 to the Cricut Joy Xtra. Hopefully it will connect. I haven't used my Cricut in a while. In fact, it's dusty, so I'm gonna have to dust it before I switch back down to my tabletop. It's embarrassing. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and hit make, and then I will select on the mat and hit confirm. Now, I take that back. I want to probably cut out the word Mary and the offset of bright. Probably, I'm using 110-pound cardstock, so probably I'm gonna duplicate this 2 more times, so I'll have 3 layers. You'll see I did a mock-up card off camera because I didn't want to do something that didn't look, you know, smart. So I used foam tape, and let me tell you, that was so time consuming, and also probably because I was crafting with my daughter, and I get one thing done, barely get it done, and then I get pulled into, you know, whatever craft she's doing. So I am going to, in fact, let me come over here, select that R, and then I'm also I'm holding down the shift button and clicking on what I want to select, and I'm going to hit duplicate. There's one, and then I'm going to do it 1 more time. Now, the and bright part, that is going to be on a vinyl layer, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit make, and then we should be okay. So I'm going to hit confirm. And yep, that looks good. And then we got our little and bright there. Hit continue. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this connected to my Cricut Joy Xtra. Okie dokie. So it connected. That's awesome. Like I said, I haven't used it in a long time. I kind of got in a place where it's just hard to get to, and so it's just more obnoxious to get it out. But I want to use it in this video just to show you guys that you can. I don't know where I'm going. Paper. Here we go. I'm like completely passing it up. Okay. So where's the cardstock? Oop. Here we go. Cardstock, not paper, but cardstock. So they have 100-pound. But they don't have 110. Oof. I'll do more. I don't think it's gonna be an issue. I'll do pressure. I'll do more. Okay. I'm using my Cricut Joy Extra Light Grip Matte. And then I am going to, now here's the thing. I am going to ink blend, and you'll understand why I'm going to ink blend, just because I think it just matches really well with the pattern cardstock. But in this instance, if you do not want to ink blend, you're going to want to use different color of cardstock. But I want to ink blend. You'll understand why here in a moment. So there's no buttons to press like the Maker or the Explorer. You just simply put it in there, let it grab it. Oh, I got it off. It's, yeah, okay. It's kind of wonky in there, but hopefully it'll be okay. All right, so going back into Design Space, go ahead and hit go. All right, so I'm gonna let this go ahead and get this cut out. All right, so on your Design Space, you'll just hit unload, and there we go. Got everything all cut out. Now, technically, if you don't feel confident that it didn't cut out really well, all you have to do is just check it before you hit the unload, because as soon as you hit the unload, it's not going to ever cut in the exact same location. So my recommendation is just test an area, see if it cut all the way through if you're not feeling very confident, and see how it did before you unload. And if you didn't, then you can always just, if it didn't, I should say, you can always just hit, you know, have it redo it. Okay, it did 2 passes and it worked. I don't know if 2 passes was necessary. I really wasn't paying attention, so I do apologize. I was kind of like texting Jen from Jenny Lynn Crafted, so blame her. Just kidding, Jen, just kidding. Okay, so notice how I'm bending the mat, not the paper. Okay, there we go. So I'm just getting this off, and then I'm going to put the vinyl, because I am going to be using vinyl. I like to use vinyl on my cards when I'm doing my Cricut Can Too series. Back in Design Space. All right, so actually look at here, guys. I'm reusing this. You guys see me use it before in my last card, so I'm going to use it again, hopefully. So again, I'm just looking at my, like, the placement of the areas that are good. I really should just buy some more, honestly, but I'm not going to. I really don't like shimmer, but if I'm going to keep on doing these Cricut Can Too series, I might just keep on buying it, because it really does look nice on cards. So I just might. Okay, so once I get the placement, I'm going to do premium vinyl shimmer, and then again loading it. If you don't get your mat loaded on right, it does bend it. I don't know how I get off so badly, but I always do. It just drives me nuts. So I'm just being really careful. See, even then I think it's off. Oh well. All right, so while that's doing that, check the measurement of the mat. I'm just going to go ahead and get these all punched out. Alrighty, so look at this. This is the paper that I'm going to be using, and you can tell it's not a solid fill of the stripes, and so I was going to try to mimic that in my letters, okay? And the colors that I'm going to be using to match this is this is all Concord 9th. So we have Harbor, Sea Glass, Carnation, and Lilac. So that is the color palette that we're going to be using to ink blend, and I only need one of each letter. Okay, I'm going to try not to mess this up like I did when I was originally making it. I was so distracted with my daughter. Recut the R and I, and I still messed it up again because I was not paying attention. Ugh, you know, That's just the way it is. I'll start with Carnation. Okay, I'm just using ink cubes because these are not, you know, big letters, and I'm not going to be perfect about ink blending them because again the paper is not. So I don't want this to be perfect either. Kind of want it to be splotchy like the cardstock is. Okay, I think that looks good. So we have 4 colors, so the Y, right? Purple, blue, yeah. Y'all, you laughed that I had to double check that, but I can't tell you, I messed up on it twice, and I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was not. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the ERR. Alrighty, not bad, pretty easy. Close that up. We are good to go. So again, I use Lilac, Carnation, Sea Glass, and Harbor. I will try to remember to get that listed in the description box below. So you do have to have some type of craft glue. I like to use, in my cards, I like to use art glitter glue. There is no glitter in there, so I'm going to go ahead and glue everything together real quick, and then we can get to the fun part of weeding and then assembling. Alright, I have all of my pieces all cut out. So I have Mary, and then I also have my End Bright all, not all cut out, but all glued together. Okay, so I'm going to move those to the side. I don't need my, I just did my own paperweight, and this is in a video coming up, and maybe it already came out by now. Let's see here. The 25th, so it's next Friday. Yes, this has not come out yet, but I did do a video coming up where I etched my logo, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but I etched my logo on this glass block. So that will be coming out, so you can learn how to do that. What I'm going to do is weed out my sentiment. So, did anybody do any Christmas crafts here in July? I know I'm not trying to skip over the holidays. Trust me, I like the fall, and I like the Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and it's not because of the food. I mean, the food's great, right? But I just like the traditions that always fell on, or before, on, and after Thanksgiving when I was a kid, and then I just, when it's Christmas, it's over, you know? So Thanksgiving always ended up just being my all-time favorite holiday. So hopefully this doesn't offend anybody of me skipping it. Oh, and I skipped a middle. But anyways, it's just, I don't know, it's always fun to get a jump start, so that way Christmas doesn't become so stressful. And you guys know, as a mom, as a parent, that it can get a little stressful buying for your kids and everybody else in your family and all that stuff. So it's always nice to get a head start where you can. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. So, looks like I got some stuck on my mat here. This vinyl is so old. Probably has been here since day one of me crafting, and where I swore off shimmer vinyl. Oh my gosh. I remember I was working on this project for Christmas, and I was doing like 6 large signs for family, And I decided to cut all of them out using shimmer vinyl because shimmer vinyl is so pretty. And why would you not want to use it, right? Oh my gosh, no. I refuse to do shimmer vinyl. It is just hard. And maybe they have changed it over the years. I have not used it. Other than these, this is the first time I used shimmer vinyl. I don't want to scratch my mat. First time I used shimmer vinyl in a long time because I refused to use it. There we go. So this is a new mat. In fact, I'm giving you a little spoiler alert. I'm doing a Amazon haul for you crafters. I don't think it's not just for Cricut card making, it's for everything. And I got a new mat. It was pink, and I just did not like the pink. I couldn't do with the pink. So in that video, you'll see me like oohing and ahhing over it, and I ended up not. I ended up returning it and exchanging it for this one. So I had the large mat. The large mat was 20. Let's see here. It was like 28 or no 24 by. No, it was not 24. It was I think it was 28 by 36 or something like that. It was huge, and I just didn't have a lot of space here to the left and to my right, and it was just unnecessary. So plus it had a bunch of scratches on it. I still have it. Who knows, I may go back to it one day, but right now it's just not what I want. So I'm just applying my vinyl decal to my offset. This, you might want to use a low tack transfer tape when you go and do this, but I have used this transfer tape on cardstock before, and now I will say I wouldn't use this on a really, oh gosh, I wouldn't use it on, now watch this, actually ripping my cardstock with this little dot. I just will not want to give it up. Alright, I'm going to have to come back and save you because you are just being a little stinker, but I trust this cardstock. It's not bad. The vinyl will ruin it before the transfer tape would. And there it is. It's so tiny. But, you know, obviously take your own word for it. You know, do your own research and see, you know, what makes sense for you. But I've used this before. And if you don't have any other transfer tape, just put it on your shirt, you know, and just go like that. And so that way you can get some of the sticks off of it. Okay. So, we have the End Bright. Isn't this really pretty? I would really, come on, focus. I would really use shimmer vinyl. Oh, love it for cards. Okay, so here's the thing. I have my card panel. I did cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4, but here's the thing. I want to use this as my panel, but because this is like 60 pound or thinner, I don't know, it's not very heavy at all. I'm just going to apply it to here to give it some weight because this will not hold up very well at all. So that is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do, let's see here, I gotta think. I need to do 5 1/4. Yeah, 5 1/4. And then do 4. There we go. Okey-doke. So here's the thing. Actually, I don't want to do that just yet. I am going to do some double-sided tape. And I'm going to put it on the perimeter. You can use glue. I just always worry, got it on my mat. I always worry about it beating up and then you can see it. So I don't do that. Okay. we go. I am going to use my score buddy to help line this up. Now, if you don't have a score buddy, then obviously you can just you know, line it up like this and try to figure it out. But I'm gonna use what's available to me. That doesn't mean I get it perfect. That just means it's gonna help me, and actually not bad. Not too bad. Too bad. Okay, now I'm going to use my score buddy to score my card base, which this is going to this is literally just half of an 8.5 by 11, so it's going to be 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to score this at 5.5. If you don't have a score buddy, you can get these at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. They're super inexpensive if this is something that you're going to get into. I would highly recommend it. Your Cricut can do that. I just don't do it just because I like to, but maybe in another installment of the series, I will do that. I will show you how to use your scoring tools with your Cricut, so that way you don't have to buy all the things. I know someone mentioned that they don't want to go down the rabbit hole of buying all the things, and trust me, I 100% agree, and I would recommend don't. It's expensive and it's just addicting. I have no self-control. These creators on YouTube just makes me want to buy everything, and well, I got bills I gotta pay for. So anyway, okay, so I'm just adding a foam panel. If you don't have foam tape, then you can totally skip this next step and glue it directly on there. But I myself like a lot of dimension in my cards, so that is why I am doing that. You can get foam, you could DIY your foam panels if this is something that you're going to get into. I have a video explaining how to do that. It's in a craft haul video. I think it's at the end. I'm going to stand up and do this. And I'm going to pay attention to what is at top and what's at bottom. So I don't think it matters. My other card, it did matter because my first letter was the M was purple, and it did kind of look silly, but it's because I don't want the white at top. But because it's pink, it really doesn't matter. So I just think I'm going to place it like this. Or does it make sense to, maybe it makes sense to do it this way. Now, here comes the fun part of placing it. Now, here's the problem. We want to overlap them, and we're not going to be able to do that because we have the thickness. Now, I was using foam tape, so I was able to work around it. So in the design space, you would have seen that I did overlap them. That's because I was going to foam tape it, but I am not foam taping this. I am just simply overlapping it, or just pushing it, or placing it like this, okay? So you'll see my other card that I did, the mock card. In fact, I'll bring it over here. So here's the card that I did off camera, and just to, you know, see how that purple, that's what I was talking about. But you can see that I overlapped it, and it worked because I used foam tape, but I don't have the time to do that. So that is why I am just going to double it up. And I also could do Merry and Bright. I kind of like it like that, but does it make sense since it's on the left side, or should it be, you know what, I'm not going to overthink this. It is what it is, right? This one, I put it to the right because it's Merry and Bright, but does it not make sense to do it this way? I'm thinking it probably doesn't, but, and then, yeah, plus yeah, that looks kind of silly, right? So let's try that. Let's rethink this. I could overlap it and get some thin foam tape, but again, I do not want to do that right now. This girl has some things to do. Yeah, except let's shift the M a little bit over. So not exactly the same lineup as Design Space, but you know, again, this one kind of is. The reason why this went here is because I shifted this thing too far over, so I should have centered it. So because I didn't center this better, again, this was my mock-up, so I was kind of in a hurry, and this was just like, I wasn't even going to show this card in the video, if I was to be honest. But that's why I put that there, because I wanted to bring it more centered. So with this, I'm kind of paying attention more, a little bit closer, I should say, than I was in my other card. And I think I'm getting too far over to the right, so let me bring this over. That's pretty. I like that. Okay, so what I do when I really like something and I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up is I take a picture and then I refer back to it. Okay, just in case I happen, and I always keep it to the right tier, just in case I mess it up and lose position. I always can look at my my image on my phone to find out, you know, where it's at. So I'm just trying to, yeah, just okay. So using some glue to glue this all down. I am really glad that I doubled it up and I used 110-pound cardstock, because oh, that took a long time to do. Okay, move this closer. So you'll have to let me know in the comments which card you end up liking more. Did you like them overlapping, or do you like them spaced out like this? I think I like this better, and maybe that's really because it's kind of more centered. I don't know. It may not be. Who knows? That would be like one superpower I wish that I had, is being able to get things centered and straight in crafting. One superpower in crafting. And love it. Looks like it was heat embossed. Alright. And then this is going to go Mary and it looks like I didn't glue all the way. I'll lift that up just to see if that looks good. That looks good. Okay. Alright, I'm going to bring out my glass block to kind of put that down. Hopefully I didn't shift that. Alright, so if you don't have any embellishments, you can totally stop here. But I have to do it. I'm sorry, I do. And you can totally buy the embellishments from Michael's and Hobby Lobby. Sorry, just moving a bag over so I can get to my embellishments. So this is from Spellbinders, but again, you don't have to. Hobby Lobby and Michael's, they sell them. You don't have to order it from their website. Sometimes ordering from their websites are a lot more expensive than it is to get it at the local store. But they are local, you know, they are American businesses, and it's nice to help out small businesses. I should say not American, but small businesses. So I'm all about trying to support small businesses for sure. So this one's going to be a little different than the one I'm doing. So what if I just start it here, do that, then we'll do a medium here. And that's what you call a Cricut Can Too card. All Cricut made, and it's so easy. I mean, I loved how this card turns out. This is probably, here's the other one to bring this in. Here's what that one looks like. And I think that this one has, the one that we did on camera, has to be my favorite. I do like the, you know, I don't know, I like the overlay, that's cute and all, but I really do like this one. Now, if you remember, it had the ephemera, and then it had the alphabet stickers and some other stickers. So I'm going to show you some other cards that I made with the cards, so you don't even have to use your Cricut. So I wanted to show you some bonus cards that shows that you don't even need a Cricut either to make the card. Okay, so these are Cricut made. So here is one. So I ended up using the gingerbread plus the little tree. I did use some embellishments just to give a little bit of a shimmer on the card, and then I just used the word joy. Those are the stickers that came with the pack, so there's that. And then I used the sticker, the tree sticker, and then I just did Mary. I thought that was really cute. And then the last one that I did is I did this one. I thought this was kind of cute to have like a little offset, and this one had just sweet Christmas wishes, and I just did obviously two plain white panels. Now I know that I used the same cardstock and there was like 4 different patterns, but I felt like the other ones were a little bit they're a little bit too busy for what I wanted to do, especially with these cards. So I think if I had more time with this set, which I will coming up in Christmas, I just not right now. I got Halloween to prep for and some other things I need to prep for card making. So I would use the other patterns if I was not using if it was not in this video. And here's why. Because I would want to use my stamps and dies, because that set only had 2 sentiments. It had sweet Christmas wishes and then like a holly jolly, and then you had these letters. Well, these are, you can only fit this much in a card. So if I was doing a different card video with this set, I would be using my stamps and dies to add the sentiment, and then I would use those panels for different things. But anyways, I hope that makes sense. But so that's why I did it in this video. But anyways, so you can do a lot with this this collection. So pick it up. It's at Hobby Lobby. It's really fun, and it's going to be really cute for Christmas. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys all in the next card or craft video. Bye.